So every single time I see a new video game come out, I go on Twitch or I go on Twitter, I see game reviews or I go on YouTube. Everybody just says that this game is like X game combined with Y game, and every single time a video game releases, somebody says something along those lines, and there's always truth to it, right? And it's a good way about explaining a video game in a very quick manner and getting your point across very quickly and having other people understand it very fast, right? But I get so annoyed hearing it. Like with Valorant, when Valorant came out, everybody was just like, "Oh, it's just Overwatch with CS:GO combined into it." And it's just so annoying to me, dude. I can't stand it. Or like, dude, it's just so annoying. So I'm going to be talking about that today. And if you're wondering why I'm making a YouTube video, and it's been 8 months since I last uploaded, it's because I got bored of making content. Um, just because there wasn't really anything I was passionate about in the gaming space that I really want to talk about. And then I got bored of being bored, so now I'm back because I started thinking about video games again. And yeah, so we're here now, and this is hell. But yeah, at the end of the day, this take just always makes me so angry because you'll take something like Red Dead Redemption 2 and you'll be like, oh, it's just GTA, but it's cowboys. Or you'll take something like Cyberpunk and be like, oh, it's just GTA, but in the future. And while there's like a kernel of truth to it, and it does share elements with GTA and it's like just a different setting, it's also not true at all because so much is different between the games. Like with Valorant, my best example of this is, of course, FPS games because I know FPS games. But with the like Valorant is just Overwatch with CS:GO take, it's like, yeah, you're right. You're playing a tac shooter that has abilities, but like you're just dumbing everything down to the bare bones and then just being like, this is this, right? And you can't do that. It's so annoying. Like you can't say that, oh, dude, I know the exact thing that this is like. Hang on one second. All right, I got the perfect example of this for you. So back in the day, Greek philosophers were debating, right? And they had this argument, right, about trying to define what a man is, right? And so one of them said that a man is a featherless biped. So what another philosopher did, he plucked all the feathers off a chicken and said, "Behold, I've brought you a man." And if that isn't what y'all are doing here, I don't know what that's the perfect example. You're taking a game bearing, if you strip every game down to its bare minimum, it's always like every other game. It's like saying like Valorant is like COD because it has guns. It's the same thing. And like you can say all these games have a lot of matching elements, but at the end of the day, it's all just elements of the game. It's not the game itself. It's not. And also games are greater than the sum of its part. A game isn't just a movement mechanic, gunplay, and then other gameplay elements, and then a story slapped onto it, and it's just the sum of that. It's greater than the sum of the part. It's how it all comes together. Literally a form of art. And if we're talking about art, okay, if we're talking about art, all art is derivative of other art. Okay, every single piece of art you've ever seen is taking inspiration from other things. In fact, everything you've ever seen takes inspirations from other things. Like, if I made a video game today, I would take elements from 6 different video games and combine it to make something new and unique. But it would still be taking elements from 6 different games. And at the end of the day, you could say this about literally everything. You say this like about podcasts. So, yeah, well, like you can watch some new random podcast and be like, oh, this is just like that one Barstool podcast. But like they're different things. Or like you could say all D&D podcasts are the same, but they're all telling different stories. They're all doing different things. They're all bringing their own ideas and thoughts to the medium. And you can say like, oh, this YouTuber is just like this YouTuber and just go on about that. Or you could just like, if I made a video I slowly where I just gave you a random topic about video games and then I slowly lost my mind through the middle of that, everybody would tell you that's an unraveled video, right? But if I added something to it and made it different and made it my own, it's not just an unraveled video, it's something different, but it's taking inspiration from unraveled. But my point is that it's pointless. It is pointless to say that X is just Y with Z, right? It's just so pointless. Like everybody knows that already. It's not a valid criticism. It's I hate when people use that as criticism at the end of the day. That's like my major thing. It's when people say Valorant's just Overwatch or CS:GO, I'll just go play one of those instead. Like no, it's I keep using that analogy. I'm sorry, but it's the easiest way to get through to you, idiot brain. But listen, the point I'm trying to get across to you guys is that saying a game is like another game with that game is good for a short description of something for like somebody who already has knowledge of the space. Like saying Valorant is Overwatch and CS:GO is how I would describe Valorant to somebody if I knew they were a gamer, right? But the point is that it should stop there. You should not use these bare bone descriptions and like comparisons when criticizing a game. You should never like make the Red Dead 2 comparison to GTA 5 and use that as criticism for Red Dead Redemption 2. You should use it as a description and then judge Red Dead Redemption 2 completely on its own and make your own argument just on that. And we saw that with the Greek philosophers with how you shouldn't strip down things to their bare minimum because they just become other things stripped down to their bare minimum. Even with like cooking, like if I was going to try to make a new pasta, I can be like, oh, I want to make it kind of like this one Alfredo sauce I had this one time, but I'm going to use like a different amount of cheese. I'm going to use a different kind of seasoning. I'm going to use a different meat or something. Like everything is inspired by another thing at the end of the day, especially with art, which with like gaming, with making games and like just pieces of art in general, right? Everything takes inspiration from another thing. And that's the point I'm trying to make to y'all is that you shouldn't criticize things based off that. You should judge things completely on their own. And of course, if something is just a blatant copycat of something, that doesn't count and I won't get mad at you for that. But for things that are clearly their own thing, stop making this comparison. It just really, really bugs me. But yeah, I'm back to making YouTube videos apparently. I got a ton of ideas and I'm going to put out a new one probably next week. And this was a new kind of video for me. I've never done a video like this. Like here, I'll show you my script for this one. I usually write like full scripts for these videos. And that was just my entire script for this one. But I'll be back. I'll be uploading at least semi-regularly. I'll try to. I'll be streaming semi-regularly too, so make sure you follow me at twitch.tv/Crip6. Follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff. Everything's linked in the description. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys later. GG's, and subscribe to the channel, and goodbye.